Good morning, Flora Li Thiemann. Welcome on VH Berries.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I am extremely grateful as I can now explain why Berlin is 5 to 6 hours ahead of the east coast of North America, because you're ahead of time when it comes to transforming words into living echoes. How are you doing today?
Wow, thank you. I'm doing good. How are you?
I am doing good as well. And I found out that you're actually watching the horizon from a lofty vantage point that we could also translate as Der schwarze Turm in the television series The Gryphon.
Yes.
I would love Flora Li Thiemann to discuss about this television series. Can you tell us a little bit more about it?
Of course. The Gryphon is a fantasy series, which was super cool to shoot. It was my first fantasy project, actually. And there is this whole Black Tower world that the main characters are discovering, and with like a lot of fantasy creatures, including the Gryphon, for example. And my role, her name is Sarah, and she is taking place basically in the real world. Typical teenage situations, love, friendship, and everything. And she thinks that Mark, the main character, is like is making this all up, and it's not true, and there wouldn't be any Black Tower world. But through the show, she also helps the others to find out more about it, and finds out that he maybe is not as sick in the head as she thought in the beginning. Yes. And also the show is taking place in the 90s, which was super cool to shoot, because I always love to dive into different times where I wasn't alive, for example. And with all the costumes and the props and the whole like energy of the project, we got to know this time period a lot better, which was cool.
Absolutely, Flora Li Thiemann, you had the opportunity to discover the time period of the year 1994 in the city of Krefeld. And to come back to Der schwarze Turm, this is the name of that parallel world filled with dangerous creatures and twisted landscapes.
Yes, that's true. Your pronunciation is really good. Der schwarze Turm. Yeah, it means Black Tower in English.
I do have a good pronunciation of Der schwarze Turm, as well as another sentence that your character Sarah is pronouncing.
Really?
Lasst du mich die Hausaufgaben spieken.
Wow. So we can speak in German actually now.
I would love to explore that specific question that your character actually had to answer from a question to a character named Becky. Can you tell us a little bit more about this relationship?
Sure. So Becky is also one of the main characters that is helping Mark to find out more and everything about the Black Tower and helping him from the real world. And Sarah and Becky. So Sarah is this type of girl who wants to have the control over everything, who always had the control over everything in school and the friends group, and Becky comes joins the school as a new student, and for Sarah it's clear that she wants to control her and want to be friends with her like she always is. And with her it was a little harder in the beginning because Becky is not interested in these superficial values and friendships. So I think for Sarah that was triggering in the beginning, and then it was more like I want to make her my friend now, but she was more interested in Mark, and Mark and Sarah didn't have to do anything. But then over the time they really got interested in each other, and they learned from each other also. And I think it was eye-opening also for Sarah to have then a friend like Becky who would tell her to stop treating people like that. And it was actually in the end a real connection that both had.
This is a connection that they both had. And Flora Li Thiemann, for the people that are not German speakers, like the two of us, that sentence is a question that actually means, can I take your homework? And
yes,
if I understood correctly, Becky took Sarah's homework the same way you took Banksy's graffiti on the walls behind you with the girl with balloon.
Oh yes, but actually I'm now sitting in front of a wall that is white. But it's it's cool that you remember. Yes, I have Banksy posters in my room on another wall.
Absolutely, Flora Li Thiemann, you're in a different place. And you mentioned the fact that this is a fantasy television series with some fictional character and monsters. Can you tell us a little bit more about the process, the creative process, and also about this creature with the horns of a goat?
Yes, I mean, I wasn't really shooting with one of these creatures because my role was taking place not in the Black Tower but in the real world. But of course I saw them and heard a lot about the work on it, and I think it's super interesting because there was a whole cast of actors and actresses and stunt people who were also playing these fantasy creatures that in the end looked like creatures, you don't recognize any of the human beings behind it, but they actually were actors and had their costumes and their masks, but then there was a lot of CGI and stuff in the end that I don't have any clue about how it is working or anything. But it was super cool because I actually just met the actors of the creatures at the premiere because I didn't act with them since I didn't have any scenes with the creatures, but it was super cool to hear that they had this process as well of shooting for weeks and being these creatures. Yeah, super interesting, I think.
Furthermore, Flora Li Thiemann, you met those creators at the premiere and you were very convinced by the CGI and the special effects, at the complete opposite of your idea and feedback on the name DJ Neb.
DJ Neb. Yes, it is. You know a lot of details, actually. You make me remember stuff. Yeah, DJ Neb was my boyfriend in the show was trying to impress DJ Neb, or was it his name? I don't remember actually, but do you?
I do have the information, Flora Li Thiemann. Your boyfriend's character is actually DJ Neb, and
his name was DJ Neb, right?
He was trying to impress the legendary Big John, also needing a location like the Schlosspark Cinema.
Okay, so both beautiful names, DJ Neb and Big John.
Those are, as you just said, Flora Li Thiemann, beautiful names. And your character, parents, owns the Schlosspark Cinema, a performing arts theater in Berlin, which could be the ideal venue for projecting the feature film Gotteskinder.
Maybe wrong time, but yes. What did you heard about Gotteskinder?
I would love, Flora Li Thiemann, to discuss about this very recent feature film that is called Gotteskinder. Can you tell us a little bit more about this piece of art?
Of course. Gotteskinder is the German title. The English is In Good Faith. Is my recent project that came out. It will actually come out in cinemas in January 2025, so next January. And I think it's like one of the most meaningful projects to me because it has a really important topic and message. It is about a family, more like two siblings growing up in a family that is living in a super strict Christian evangelic community. The protagonist, their names, like my role is, her name is Hannah, and my brother here, like the brother of Hannah, his name is Timo, played by Serafin Mishiev. And they're like 17 years old and 15, I guess. And the whole story is about them like living for God and their community and their belief. They really are like into it, and their whole world builds around their religion, and their values are completely like in that religion. And but then they both discover feelings. Hannah is falling in love with the guy that is not in the community, and Timo falls in love with his best friend, so discovers his homosexuality as well. And then the whole movie is about those basically teenagers, like having this conflict between following their belief and the rules and the values that they learned since they're kids and that they really are believing. For example, that it's not allowed to fall in love with someone out of the community, and that it's not allowed to be homosexual, or that would be wrong. And on the other hand, they have real feelings, and then they both struggle in how to deal with it. And the movie is really tragic, also because Timo wants to be healed from his homosexuality because he thinks there would be demons in him and stuff like that. So it's really bad. Yes, I think that was the pitch.
That was the pitch, Flora Li Thiemann. And there is a central scene in which you are seen in a dramatic moment with your arms raised high, bathed in a warm golden light that creates an intense, almost spiritual atmosphere. Can you describe what is happening at that specific moment?
Yes, actually, I think the movie begins with a scene like this and also ends with it. And it is having a huge impact on, like, when you see it, and also while I was acting it, with the music and the light and everything, because it conveys this feeling of, I don't know, almost euphoria or something, like the feeling of a lot of feelings, and like to just be in. The scene is about being with God, like the connection to God in that moment, and like closing the eyes and moving to the music, and they have this pose basically with both arms in how do you call that in English? Like both arms up and to the sky, to really connect to God. And yeah, they take this really serious, and acting in it, I can relate. You know, I'm not religious, but when I was acting this scene with the music and the movement and everything, I get that you have a physical and mental reaction to it because you feel connected to your body and to the music and everything. So yeah, it's a magical moment, I guess. And this is why, I think this is why the movie also starts and ends like this, to convey this. Yes.
Absolutely, Flora Li Thiemann. The movie begins and ends with that particular scene that conveys the feeling of euphoria, combined with the profound musical notes of composer André Feldhaus.
Yes, that's true. That is also really cool about the movie, that he composed, I think, almost all the music that is used in the movie. Like, there's not used any background music, but just the music that is really played in the scenes, and he composed everything of it. And actually, I also needed to learn how to play the guitar to sing this one song in the movie, and he helped me with that. Also, he also composed that. Yes, so it's the movie includes a lot of music and has a special connection to music.
That particular feature film named Gotteskinder has a particular connection with music, and I am believing the fact that both characters of Anna and Nini from the feature film Tiger Milk are the flagship of your connection with the German cinema landscape.
Oh, you know a lot. Yeah, Tiger Milk is a movie I shot in 2016, I think. So I was 14, long ago. But one of my most important movies, like really connected to my heart.
That movie named Tiger Milk is connected to your heart, but I feel that more recently you are heading yourself to the West and putting the word Hollywood in your global positioning system, also known as GPS.
GPS? What do you mean by GPS?
I mean by GPS, the specific device that you use to go to your destination, which is Hollywood, because of a recent feature film called The Hunger Games, The Ballads of Songbirds and Snakes.
I see.
I would love Flora Li Thiemann to discuss about that project in which you played Livia Cardew. Can you tell us a little bit more about it?
Sure. So, I mean, I think most of the people will know what the Hunger Games are about, since it's this big thing and all the books exist already. For me personally, it was such a special experience. I mean, I just had a really, really small role, but still, like, she has a name, Livia Cardew, and people know her from the books. So I still got a lot of like messages to it and stuff like that, which was yeah, I think it's cute because I think you see me just a few seconds in the movie, but still, since it's such a story that is so big and that already exists in the books, a lot of people connect to it and have a fantasy about all the figures that exist, and yeah, having the opportunity to embody one of these figures, Livia Cardew, was such an honor, and I was really happy about it and about the chance to get to know this kind of world and production and all the amazing people that I met there, and yeah, this is what I can say about it, I guess. Yes. Super interesting experience. Also, again, like different because but it's also fantasy, actually. So it was also like a world that was built around that story with all the costumes and special characters and figures. So it was also super. I love to dive into that bubble of a world that just exists in this cosmos and like basically existing in it. Yes.
An intriguing world, and also meeting interesting people. And I am now wondering about that work relationship with Mackenzie Lansing, because she was also recently on VH Berry's episode 218. Can you tell us a little bit more about it?
Yes, you told me. I mean, I didn't, I couldn't watch the episode yet. I think it's not out yet today, but you told me about it, which was cute. No, Mackenzie and I, we didn't shoot as much together because she was playing one of the tributes and I was playing one of the mentors. So we were basically not existing together in this movie at the same place, because the tributes were all in the arena playing in the games, and the mentors were all in the academy in school watching the games. But of course we met I don't know, at the premieres or in between, and she's super nice. But actually, I think we just shot maybe 2 scenes together where all the people were there, and didn't really have like any more personal scenes together or anything.
Absolutely, Flora Li Thiemann. You were playing a mentor in the Tribune, and it means that you're always coming back to the beginnings with that schwarze Turm.
Yes. Maybe it's a thing.
Maybe this is the thing, Flora Li Thiemann. And this is actually, I believe, your second step on the American landscape, because you did also a step with the Aftermath playing Freda Lubert.
Yes. Yes, that was also a really cool project. It's crazy that you know all of this, actually. I think it is also long ago. I think 2017 or 18 I shot it. So a few years back.
It was Flora Li Thiemann a few years back, and you had in the Aftermath 2 very special hairstyles, which are the classic braided pigtails, as well as the 1940s inspired Victory roll.
Yes. Oh my god. I mean, yes, that's true. I try to remember right now, but yeah, I was playing this German girl, obviously. And I think that was probably typical for the time for German girls to have this kind of hairstyles. So yeah, it was also an historical project, which I love. I love to have different hairstyles and costumes, like I mentioned before, to dive into different time periods. That was also a different time period again. Yeah, it was cool.
You are definitely enjoying the idea of visiting different time periods, and I am actually very curious about your plans and goals because of those 2 steps in the American landscape. What is your plan as an artist?
I think as an artist, as an actress, for me, the most important thing or what I wish for is to have the opportunity to act in movies that touch me emotionally, that tell important stories, for interesting roles, for trying something new. And I actually don't care if it's German or English or American or any other language or country I'm shooting in. For me, it's all about the story that is told or the role that should be interesting. And I'm super happy and super grateful that I had the opportunity to also get to know the American side a little bit, because they tell different stories than we are telling here, and it's always cool to have the opportunity to get to know as much as possible, right? Yes.
In conclusion, I am looking forward to see those upcoming projects, and I will forever remember that question. Lass du mich die Hausaufgaben spicken? Thank you very much, Flora Li Thiemann.
Thank you.